Today we have listening practice on the two types of goals that you need to set when you're trying to learn a new language, specifically English, but you can use this in other languages as well. This is a listening practice exercise where I will just speak English with you. So, my advice to you, my friend, is the following. Have a little piece of paper and a pen so that you can write the words that you probably don't understand, or that you can write the words that you do understand. Because one thing is learning how to listen, how the language sounds, not necessarily the full information. And if you're in a level where you can understand the information that I'm going to speak, that's amazing, my friend. So this is listening practice, two types of objectives that you need to set when you're trying to learn English. First of all, let's define what's an objective or what's a goal. What is that? It's basically when you set what you want to achieve or what are the results that you want to get from learning the language. Most people normally say that their objective is being fluent in English, and this is a big mistake, my friend. You know why? Because fluency is just a subjective way of saying many things. Fluency can be defined in many different ways. If I teach you 1, 2, or 3 words, I can say that you are fluent in those 1, 2, or 3 words. Do you agree with me? So when you decide that your objective is just becoming fluent, but not fluent in what, you're leaving more of a subjective thing. Yeah? Pay attention to the structures that I'm using. So, when you define a clear objective, and these clear objectives normally they have 5 characteristics. They are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound, but that's another video. You understand that there is a real motivation to learn English. There is like a specific situation that you imagine that you would like to do when you're trying to learn English. And that's the whole reason why you define objectives. But once you defined that, this is mega important for the learning process because there's actually 2 types of goals. And you will understand much better this. And I'm going to make an analogy like with soccer players, for example. Soccer players, when you see them in the game, they're in the result of all the training that they have done for many and many years. Maybe since they were kids, since they were teenagers, and so on. So the result that you're seeing is hours and hours of training in the field, in the soccer field. And that's the same thing that happens with English. So we've got to say that you need to define these types of goals because you need to measure how your language is going. You need to have like a starting point. Once you have your starting point, you will define where you want to go and in how long you would like to get there. So once you define that, during the whole process, along many times you will do a feedback or you will feedback yourself on how the process is going. So if your objective is to get to Rome, you will see how close to Rome you are. Yeah? And if your objective is very general, generic, like being fluent in English, there's no way you can measure your fluency in English. Yeah, for sure there are some proficiency tests that you could take, but those proficiency tests, they really measure your ability to take tests and to memorize information, because it's a big mix of things that not necessarily will say how fluent you are, because maybe you don't need fluency to talk in the advanced way they do in the proficiency tests. But maybe you just need English for like a quick presentation or a quick meeting, or maybe showing your business or your company to somebody else. Or why not, like just to teach your kids English, like the same way I do. So defining these 2 types of goals will help you with this. And the first type of goal that you need to define or you need to set, we set goals in order to have a well-succeeded learning process, is called mechanical goal. A mechanical goal basically is the way or the applications that we give to the language, the way you apply the language, you know. Once you understand that you need to learn the way you apply the language, first you will diagnose where are you regarding that. So you will level your English. You will make maybe a leveling test or something like that. Normally teachers do this with their students in the beginning. Normally schools do this in the beginning. But they level up to their standards and not up to your standards. So that's where a big difference comes. So you need to diagnose your current level of the language. Once you know your current level in the language, then we will define the 4 skills that you need to work on. And these 4 skills are the speaking, the listening, the reading, and the writing. Yes? In these mechanical goals, we are talking about things related to the language specifically. The language. Speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Yeah? Or some specific grammar areas. Grammar areas are like past, present, future, the way you use the verbs, adverbs, orders of the sentences, how to place the adjectives, what are prepositions, how to use them, when not to use them, and so on. So all these things allow you to have clear in mind that you can apply the language. This is what they learn, what they teach in language schools. In language schools, they teach you mechanical goals. They teach you the present tense, they teach you the parts of the body, the colors, animals, parts of other different types of situations, and so on. And not always you need to have this, okay? Let's make a quick pause, my friends, and remember, this is a listening practice, so pay attention to the types of words that I use, the structures that I use, and how I travel or how I move around the structures helping you. All right, this is for you to practice your listening. So if you don't understand fully or you don't understand completely what I'm saying, don't worry. Don't take it too hard on yourself. It's easy. Chill out. Just listen to the words or understand the words that I'm saying to you slowly or little by little. I have been moving around some of the speed. So there's moments where I have spoken in a faster way, and there's moments where I have just slowed the pace to help you get different rhythms of speaking the language, right? Let's carry on. So I was discussing about mechanical goals, and mechanical goals, they have to do with the way you apply the language. Normally, language schools and private teachers, they do this. They teach you mechanical goals, how to apply the past, the rules of grammar, all the orders, and so on. Normally, we should have between 1 or 3 mechanical goals, 1, 2, or 3 mechanical goals, because you don't want to be working on too many things at the same time. So for example, one mechanical goal could be how to ask questions, and another one could be how to answer the questions that you do, right? So these are things that are related specifically to the way you apply the language. And that takes us, my friend, to the second type of goal. The second type of goal is called mastery goal. And mastery goals, they are more related to knowing or to the way you dominate the language, you know, the way you control the language. But in this aspect, pay attention, because this is revolutionary. This is where you change, or this is like the fine line between kids and men, you know. This is the fine line between schools and coaching, language coaching. Because in the mastery goals, you need to set goals for what you need to apply the language. So I can't tell you in what you need to apply the language. Let's give an example. If you have an upcoming trip to the United States and you would like to feel more confident in the outlet stores, then your mastery goal could be the fact of going to outlet stores and being able to negotiate prices, or to ask for prices, or to ask for different sizes of clothes, and so on. That would be a mastery goal, because not necessarily your teacher will teach you that, or the school where you study will teach you that. In this case, for traveling experiences and for traveling English, they normally teach you that because this is more like a generic way of teaching. However, if we go further and let's say that you are a salesman in your company and that you need to negotiate new business with other people, like I have a coachee, for example, who she works with wood. She works in a big wooden company, and like woodworks. And these woodworks, you understand that they have business all over the world. So they have in Latin America, they have it all over Europe, and depending on where the person is located, they need to make business with other people. So a mastery goal for this person is basically negotiating with people from all over the world about wood. So in this case, we're talking about commercial language, but commercial in the aspect of sales and negotiation. We're talking about wood specifically, so all the types of vocabulary related to wood and the products that she sells. And this is something that schools do not teach you for sure. Probably a private language teacher could teach you that if he understands that he needs to apply this to each person and not to themselves. All right? So in the mastery goals, you define for what you need to learn the language. What is the reason that you have to learn the language? It may be your personal life, it may be your professional life, and it may be your academic life, okay? So if you are talking about making presentations for your master's degree, probably you will do a mastery goal related to things that are in your area of expertise. So I can't be teaching you about animals. I can't be teaching you about the parts of the body. I will teach you the parts of the body if you were a doctor or if you needed them for something. That is the mastery goal. That's when you change from kids to men, from schools to coaching, language coaching. So here you transform or you make your wishes or the necessities that you have, the needs that you have, you transform them into specific goals, all right? Here is where personalization or tailor-made goals appear, yeah? You are the only one who can do that, or you can talk to a professional that can help you understand what are your professional goals. Like, for example, if you would like to know, if you tell me like, hey, Esteban, I work as an accountant and my goal is to do these types of things, send me the comment here and I will tell you what you can do to set mastery goals. Mastery goals. So once you set mastery goals, you've got goals that are defined as mechanical goals, where you will do things related to the language, like speaking in different time tenses, knowing the order of the words, knowing how to make and answer questions, structure, grammar rules, and so on. And you combine them with mastery goals that are why you need to learn the language. How will you personalize or how will you make this experience tailor-made to your needs, fit your needs. So if you are a lawyer, you will do these mechanical goals related to things of law, like law jargon, types of words that we would only find in the law world, or you would do this by, for example, practicing your listening, watching Suits in Netflix, and so on. That is the magic of defining the right goal in English. So you define 1, 2, 3, from 1, 2, 3 mechanical goals, and from 1, 2, 3 mastery goals, in order to make your process more assertive and more, you will have more chances of it being well succeeded. After you define your goal, what do? You take action, my friend. You take action. You just need to go and do it. slowly but surely. I normally talk about 4 pillars in the language. One of these pillars is focus. Focus is is mastery goal. Basically, is where you define why you need to learn the language, your objective. I talk about mindset, understanding that English is very simple. It doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your profession, you are able to learn it in a simple and logical way. Third one is the structure. The English structure is way easier than Portuguese structure, so you just need to have the correct strategies to practice it. And time. You don't need a lot of time to practice English, my friend. For sure, you just need the correct method. So that's another thing. Then you would need to do the actions or the things that you would like to do to make those goals happen. You need to understand that, or it's quite important to understand that you have many resources around you that you can use to make your goals or to achieve your goals. And the resources that you use, they must be aligned with the goals that you set. The resources that you pay attention to what I'm saying. The resources that you use must be aligned to your mastery goal. Resources aligned to mastery goal. So it's not good if you're trying to learn English related to the financial area and you watch a TV series like Vikings, for example. I always give the example of Vikings because the vocabulary they use and the type of expressions, they are from that specific time. So that's the reason why you set a mastery goal. A mastery goal is why you need to learn the language. So far we have practiced our listening by using some different structures going from one subject to another. You are trying to understand, or you are understanding the words that I'm using over here, the way I flow through the structure, time tenses, the type of vocabulary, and so on. All right, my friend? This is about mastery and mechanical goals. I'm gonna make a big roundup and we'll be over with the listening practice live today. All right, so what is a goal is a way, is the defining what you need to achieve with the language. And you define 2 ways. A mechanical goal where you define how you apply the language, grammar rules, structures, vocabulary, and so on. And mastery goals, that is why you need the language, my friend. So easy. Please leave a comment of what you thought about this live and take the reins or take ownership of your own learning process, my friend. Define these objectives, these goals, and if you need any help with them, please contact me. I will help you gladly because I love actually helping people who are learning the language and who do what they need to do to achieve the results that nobody achieves. Okay, guys? If you have any questions and comments, please let them over here. That is our listening practice for today. It will be saved here in my profile. Follow me for more listening practice. And my good old friends, that's it for today. It's Coach Esteban 101 speaking over here. And bye.